Yeah, no, that's definitely good, and it's hard. It is because when you're running a business and you don't really have anybody, when it was just me and Chris, and then finding these partners, and then talking to people, and then getting on your way. When you first start online, you're like, I have a dream, and then you're the one person in the room, or you have a couple people in a room. It can get really discouraging at first, and you're like looking at like, I don't think this is worth it. I could just quit. It's just two of us or three of us or even one, and I have to pull out sock puppets, and this is really not helping my views. Nobody's watching me. It's very easy at first. I think that's why a lot of people get up and walk away, to say, no, yeah, it was a good idea, but I'm going to give up.
There were times when I was just like, okay, why not just walk away and just go away, get some 9-to-5 job or whatever, and just do it like what everyone else is doing, and just right, because that'll pay the bills anyway, and it'll take a lot of the stress off. Yeah, I mean, if you had 2,000-3,000 coming in a month, and I don't really spend a lot of money, so that would be fine, right? But it just I'm just glad I never did. I'm really glad. I'm glad I pushed forward. You got to keep moving forward. You can't just give up at halfway through, or I mean, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense, actually, because me and Kareem, we have sponsorship now, and we also are taking a tube amplify course from Peter Beatty and Parker. What's his name?
Ehrenstein.
Yeah, and these guys are showing us exactly what we need to do to grow our YouTube channel to ridiculous popularity. And we're even going to try and, well, we are going to get them on the show, because I would like them to come on here and do a presentation on Tube Amplify, because that's one of the services that we will be providing for people, is showing them how to have a successful YouTube channel, what kind of content to post, where to film, what time to film, equipment that's necessary, lighting. If you're filming outside, there's elements of how windy is it, or are you in a noisy area, and just all that kind of cool stuff. And I know that I'm going to I'm planning on investing in a better camera. I would like to have a green screen behind me and those kinds of things. Also, I'd like to have you start using my phone to do the show, even though my camera is quite high quality, my webcam. I'd like a better one. And I would like to be able to like do the show outside and be, outside somewhere and just vlogging every day with my phone and talking about different stuff that comes to me at different times. I mean, that's all content. So I think what we're really learning from this Tube Amplify is post often, upload often, be in different locations, have good equipment, and just keep at it. So I think that's really important. And what time of the day you film is important, and where you film, and your equipment and all that kind of stuff. Very important.
To tie that back to our subject, interestingly enough, there's a lot of equipment and there's a lot of tutorials, and those guys went through a lot of confusing things with what they were doing trying to build a YouTube following, and it took them a few years, so it does take time. But the interesting thing is, I watched one video with Peter. He's trying to film, and he's looking up and down. He's not exactly leveled. Like, you can see his face, but it kind of looks like he's adjusting the camera while he's talking. And a lot of people would say, oh, no, you got to edit that, cut that out, make it picture perfect, and all this goofy stuff. And that stops a lot of people. I've known a lot of people who want to do YouTube, but they get scared because, oh, I can't get the camera exactly right, the lighting's not perfect. And then what that does is that creates an experience where they don't even start, or they start for a little bit and quit. Where Peter's just there with his camera, and I think that was one of the best things I saw in the training, because it gave me a good feeling that, okay, maybe my video's not perfect, but people, and I could look at that as something bad and then say I'm not going to put it out there, but people see the imperfection. And I think it makes it more human, and that's actually a positive thing. As long as you don't do it too much. Like, I don't want to be, like, taking my camera and doing this and making it upside down. And then people are like, Kareem, what are you doing? It's crazy. And then they get seasick. I apologize to anyone who did. But definitely a little bit of imperfection in the videos, I think, makes the video better. Because you can see that person's human. They're not a robot. I get tired of these marketing videos actually that have the people who look literally like robots. They have and they're like, "Hi, do you want to, Billy Mays here, do you want to buy?" I'm like, oh, I've seen this a million times. I want to see somebody who's maybe doing a response video, doing something goofy like, "Hey, this is Kareem, and oh, I made a mistake." I've actually...
He was really good at selling products, though, Billy.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but for YouTube and getting something exciting, making a little bit of mistakes or having a little bit of imperfection is cool. I've seen it in interviews where people slip up. Maybe they say the wrong thing. That's fine. That shows me that they're human. They're not a robot on screen. And then you can say, oh, that's so bad that they're making all these mistakes. But then they're thinking, wow, I have an awesome video. And it turns out they get a lot of views.
Interesting. Anybody else want to share some insight? We haven't heard from Carly. Is there anybody else here? Fran, Marcia, Carly, Micah, me and you. Or did Dan go? Dan's not here.
Dan is driving, but I think he's trying to get back on. He's on the road.
Well, you know, I just want to have fun with this. I want us to have fun with what we're doing. I think once we're able to film outside, and have I'm looking into buying a tripod for my phone. It's only $70. It comes with a mount, and I'd like to start filming outside, different locations, like I said, in my car, wherever. Whenever an idea strikes, I want to be able to record it. I think that's really important.
That's basically what I want to do. Even if it's not perfect, even if I'm adjusting the tripod a little bit, that is what I'm going to do. Not only with the power hour, but if I have the tripod and the equipment, just making tons of videos about things, I think, and then putting it on different channels and opening up the world to what I'm thinking. And they'll see, oh, Kareem's making some mistakes. He's still putting it out there, and he's getting better. I'm gonna do that. And if I can turn my bad photo and my bad video experiences into something good, then I'm sure they can see that and then come around and do it with them. That's the most interesting thing I've seen out of this topic. A lot of these things we see as bad things might actually help somebody else. Sometimes someone goofing up, failing, quote unquote, as we call it, might teach somebody else that, hey, it's okay to mess up. You'll live. It's like when I see Buckethead misplay a note live, I'm like, oh, he does it too. He doesn't worry about it. It's just like musicians. They play a wrong note, they keep moving. If we can be like that, I think we can be successful. Well, I shouldn't say I think. We will be successful.
Well, yeah, because we're just going to keep going. You know, we're starting off in our rooms right now with our backdrops, but I'm going to invest in a green screen and a better microphone, like one of those professional mics, and a super high-tech camera. I mean, that's important because we want to present as a professional atmosphere as possible for people. So when they click on our videos, they're like, wow, those guys really take this seriously, but also be able to have fun and mix it up and laugh and joke around. And there was... I got a story to tell you guys. There was a couple of incidents last week in my home city, which really kind of shook me, but also made me realize that we do need to increase police presence. There was 2 shootings in my city last Saturday, and I was mind blown. I was like, "What? It's Brandon. There's 50,000 people here, and all it's getting messed up, man." I mean, my mom and I were reading the article, and we both at the same time said, well, it looks like they're coming out of the woodwork, you know, and I could feel like that's tragic, and yes, it is that someone got shot, but at the same time, I'm looking at it in a positive light and saying, okay, well, I guess the Brandon Police Force needs to be more active. Especially in certain areas of my city, because we have a bridge downtown right now that is derelict. Like, it's falling apart, and it's blocked off, so no traffic can go over either to this side of the city or the other side of the city. and there's people getting attacked on that bridge. And I'm just like, police need to be patrolling that bridge on foot. You need to have officers at one end and at the other end, because there was a guy that was almost beaten to death. And it's just so crazy how Brandon is changing so much, and I'm even careful about where I go at night now. Like, I always have my car, but when I want to go for a walk, I used to never fear going anywhere. Now I'm like, it's probably not a good idea to be going in that area if somebody got shot last weekend. It's just so crazy. I never thought that we would have those types of things happen in this city, because it's just so, it's big, but it's small. You know, it's a big community, really, is what it is. And it's just crazy. I don't know what to even think about that, other than, wow,